festive holiday season warms many a heart, except those who keep a cold eye fixed on the upcoming playoffs. For Philadelphia, the road to glory has been paved with lumps, but the damage has been controlled by the presence of a begrudging defense that has kept the Eagles on the doorstep of a postseason berth. Last week, that door was opened a bit wider. But now, lying in wait are the young and improved Cowboys, whose holidays have already been spoiled and who now hope to do some spoiling of their own. Live from Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas, the Philadelphia Eagles, searching for a playoff spot, face the host Dallas Cowboys, whose season has been mostly down. Their record 1-10. Here's the way it stands in the NFC East. The Giants in front of the Eagles by 2 games. So in many ways, it's a must situation for Philadelphia. They need to win this one, and then they play the Giants in the Meadowlands next week. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall here with John Madden. We wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. It's been great for us. The weather is great. We're set for a game that is unusual in many ways. I think the Philadelphia Eagles have been struggling without question on offense. They've only scored 30 points in the last 3 games. What do they have to do to get things back on track?
Well, you know, Buddy Ryan is looking at this thing as the rest of the season, and he's not looking just to be a playoff team. He doesn't want a wild card. He still thinks he can win the division. He's looking to win the division, and he said if we're going to do that, we have to win every game. Now, he thinks this can be an advantage. If they can get through, get a win here today, stay healthy, then they have 10 days to get ready to play against the Giants. But they got a job here to do. He figures that they have to get pressure on Aikman. Now, with Buddy Ryan, that's where everything starts with that defense. We got to go after that quarterback. We got to get that quarterback. Then on offense, he feels they need more consistency. The thing that bothers them is they get inside the 20 and they just can't score. In fact, they've only scored 1 touchdown in the last 8 quarters.
John, I know the record is 1-10. I'm sure everyone is almost familiar with the changes that have been made in the Cowboys organization and on the field. Yet, with the 1-10 record, I also get the sense of enthusiasm. They seem to be on the upbeat, don't you think?
I agree with that, and I think that this is a team that's getting better. Jimmy Johnson is getting his own team, and I think that's why he got rid of Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker was the running back that you had to run the ball to 25 or 30 times a game. I think Jimmy Johnson wanted to get away from that. He wants to be a passing team. Troy Aikman is his quarterback. He's going to be a great one in this league. So today, if they are going to do anything offensively, it has to be Troy Aikman. And the thing that Jimmy Johnson worries about is, can he control that line of scrimmage? Can he get the pass protection for his quarterback? That's what he has to do.
Well, he'll have a chance to find out very early because the Cowboys have won the toss and they will receive the kickoff. Roger Ruzick will kick it off for the Eagles. He was with the Cowboys up until 2 weeks ago. And Zendejas, the Eagles kicker, was with the Cowboys. And this has been a musical chair situation with the exchange of kickers. In fact, the 2 of them met in midfield before the game started and swapped apartment keys. One in Philadelphia for Ruzick, and one here for Zendejas.
One thing in this league, Pat, I don't think you want to take a long-term lease on an apartment if you're a kicker.
James Dixon back deep. And it'll be Derek Shepard who handles the kickoff and gets back to about the 24. A return of 9. Troy Aikman will start at quarterback. He missed 5 weeks because of an injury. Had a hot week last week, 25 out of 33, and he'll operate this offense. Tuine, Newton, Rafferty, Crawford Kerr, and Kevin Gogan with Steve Folsom, the tight end. Paul Palmer and Darrell Johnston, the running backs. James Dixon and Derek Shepard open at wide receiver as the Cowboys have really been decimated at wide receiver. Sargent and Johnston open at running. First down, Dallas by Darrell Johnston. A pickup of 11, stopped by Wes Hopkins, and let's look at the defense. The Philadelphia Eagles very tough defensively. White, Pitts, Brown, and Clyde Simmons having a great year. Reichenbach starts at outside linebacker for the first time in his career. Evans and Harris the other two. In the secondary, Jenkins and Allen the corners. Hopkins and Waters the two safeties. 1st and 10. Dallas at their own 36. Dixon split wide to the right. Aikman the quarterback. Johnston again. And he pulls his way almost to midfield before he's stopped by Clyde Simmons.
I think the Cowboys realized what they had in Daryl Johnston last week. You can see he gained 50 yards, and they just started to use him. They started this game with two fullbacks, Daryl Johnston and Broderick Sargent. So that has to be their plan. Come out, get some running, run straight at him, try and soften up that defense and calm the pass rush down before it starts.
Another first down for Dallas at their own 49. 1st and 10 from there. Palmer now is the deep back. Started in Kansas City, acquired from Detroit. Next Palmer into Eagle territory, stopped by Byron Evans.
I think I'd keep pounding Johnston at him. I mean, they got something going. Johnston was a second-round draft choice out of Syracuse, rookie, and he's just getting the feeling of this offense, and I think that they have just figured out that they can be a fullback running team.
That now a final score. The Lions upset the Browns in Detroit 13-10. 2nd down. They need 7. Attempt incomplete.
This is a new thing that the Eagles are doing, Pat. You see they're wearing their black shoes. Last week they had 13 guys wearing them. Reggie White got them for all the guys. He said he was watching Colorado play Nebraska. And he said Colorado was wearing black shoes and he kind of liked it. So he asked any of the other guys if they wanted to, and he got a load of them, put them on. They got a note from the NFL that that's not part of the uniform code, but they're doing it anyway.
One of them even has a wristband around his ankle to go with the black shoes.
It's an honor of Thanksgiving.
Aikman out of the pocket. He can run. Slides at the Eagle 35. Andre Waters made sure he stayed down, but he got 13 and another Dallas first down.
This is a tough guy, Troy Aikman. You know, you can talk about his arm and about his passing ability and his talent, but I'll tell you, he'll hang in there, and if you give him a hole like this, he is going to take it. Look at that big gap there. See, they didn't stay in their pass rush lanes. Now, once he gets by here, he can see that he can get 10 yards before he has to go into the slide.
He's not only a tough guy, he's a big guy. About 220.
He's out of Oklahoma.
Making a lot of money. Daryl Johnston, the ball carrier, but a flag on the play. We'll take it, says Jimmy Johnson.
I'll tell you, Buddy Ryan is probably saying, I told you guys. He'd been preaching. It's a short week, and he'd been preaching to his guys, hey, this is an improved team, and these guys are going to come after you.
99 defense. Offside, 5-yard penalty for a repeat first down.
That was Jerome Brown. That's Gene Barth, the referee. 1st and 5 for the Cowboys at the Eagle 31, just inside there. Again, a happy Thanksgiving Day. It couldn't be more delightful than it is here in Texas today, as far as the weather and the playing conditions are concerned. Palmer is the lone setback. Started wide, came back inside, stopped again by Jerome Brown.
That was a pretty good move by Paul Palmer there. They just picked him up. Remember, he was the Kansas City Chiefs and then the Detroit Lions. They picked him up, and it's supposed to be that counter tray, and he just stops here. He sees that whole big bunch of guys. He just stops and makes a cut back. about 2 holes before he was supposed to.
2nd and 2.
That's what that quickness gives you. You know, those guys that can cut on a dime, the hole's not there. They don't have to run into it anyway.
Palmer has been very effective since he's been here. Now they're back to the 2 fullback situation. That's Riley Sargent. Maybe 2 and maybe a first down.
Buddy's standing over there. He wants him to pass because he wants to see what kind of blitzes are going to work. He doesn't like this when someone keeps the ball on him and controls it and runs it.
That's what he likes to do. But he doesn't.
He thinks the only way you can have a real good defense is to have a good running game.
He went back and did some personal surveys himself of the teams that had won the Super Bowl, about 2 inches short, looks like. And he said no team has ever gotten and won the Super Bowl unless they could run the ball. 3rd down.
You know, this isn't a bad thing. If you have 3rd and inches, this isn't a bad play pass down. You know, if you're going to take a shot, you're on the 25-yard line, you can go for it on 4th down. This isn't a bad thing. Get them all bunched up and give them that play fake and throw one.
Jerry Rome standing next to Jimmy Johnson. They'll go for it. Get it. That was Sargent, the ball carrier, hit first by Jerome Brown with an assist from Mike Pitts. No gain.
Yeah, Jerome Brown is a big guy. He's over 300 pounds. And when he gets going, watch him. Jerome Brown is right there. And when he gets in your backfield, see, he gets some penetration, there isn't going to be a hole there. There isn't any cut back there. Like there's a whole bunch of green-shirted, black-shoed guys on that pile.
They might have lost about a half yard on that. Zendejas with Saxon holding. 45 yards. No good. And after a very impressive beginning, the Cowboys get down in Eagle territory and come away with nothing. Defense led by Jerome Brown. 9:27 left to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium. Randall Cunningham, the Eagles quarterback. And in front of him will be Darwin, Shad, Alexander, Solt, Ron Heller at right tackle, and Keith Jackson back at tight end. Byars and Tony start at running backs, although Byars often is split out of the backfield. Johnson and Carter are the wide receivers. Randall Cunningham last week threw it 43 times against the Vikings. They've had tough time scoring. Byars lined up as a tight end to the left this time. Tony on 1st down. Got a couple. That's all. Willie Broughton brought him down. That's the Dallas front 4. Notice the absence of Ed Too Tall Jones. Talbert starting instead of him. 2nd and 8 situation. The linebackers Del Rio, Lockhart having an outstanding year in the middle. And that's the secondary. Walls, Williams, Horton, and Albritton. 2nd and 8. Flag on the play. Byars and Tony were the 2 backs behind Cunningham. There's Ed Jones. Remarkable career he's had.
I'll tell you, and he's 15 years in the league and not starting now, but a guy that has added so much to this Dallas Cowboy organization and this team. Well, he's a great player in the field, a great representative off the field.
2nd and 3. 2nd down. They need 3. About a yard shy. Jeffcoat and Jack Del Rio brought him down.
Jack Del Rio is one of those new players that the Cowboys got since the season started. You know, the first part of the season they were picking up guys like Jack Del Rio. They were getting guys on offense, defense from all over the league. And after they finally traded Herschel Walker, Jimmy Johnson had a meeting with the team, and he said, okay, guys, this is it. This is our team now. And he said, since that time, everyone's felt a lot better about it.
That's a quick kneel down by Gene Barth. And they're about an inch shy of the first down, it appears.
I'll tell you one thing.
Beg your pardon.
It is a first down. And Randall Cunningham was saying the play that he hates the most to do is quarterback sneak. I was going to say, even if it were short, I bet one thing you wouldn't see is a quarterback sneak.
Cunningham back to throw it. Outside to Keith Jackson. A favorite pass play of late by the Eagles, but not much there, only a yard. Vince Albritton up in a hurry to knock Keith Jackson down.
Well, one thing, the Cowboys feel that on defense, the guy that they have to stop is Keith Jackson, that they feel that it's Cunningham's security blanket. You know, by having him in there, he knows that no matter what happens, he can always go and get a completion most of the time to Keith Jackson.
Of course, he had a great rookie year last year. Draw play to Byars, and nothing there. Ken Norton was the first Cowboy to hit him with an assist from Lockhart.
Hear that crowd. They're just getting it. They've either eaten their turkey already, and then they come to the game, or they come to their game, and then they go eat their turkey.
Or else, if they have one of those luxury boxes, they eat it during the game.
Or you can do all of the above. Right. Eat it before, during, after. That's what it is. Turkey and football goes together. Something about it. Good mixture.
Third down. Cunningham incomplete. Intended for Byars. Manny Hendricks made the stop. Dean Hamill is the man who put the pressure on Cunningham.
And this is the exact way the Cowboys wanted to start today. To be able to control the line of scrimmage, to move the ball, which they did on their first drive, put pressure on Cunningham.
Max Runniger. Been around a while. Derek Shepard back deep for the Cowboys. Runniger's kick is a good one. Shepard retreated all the way to the 10-yard line. Got away from the first wave of Eagles. And gets back to about the 18 before he is stopped by Ricky Shaw. 53-yard punt by Runniger, 6-yard return, so they net 47. Well done. And again, a happy Thanksgiving to you. Back at Texas Stadium on a delightful day. Nothing yet. Average yard rushing so far. The Cowboys with Johnston. A couple of strong runs early. Doing well.
I think they ought to stay with that. They don't even have him in the game. They got Paul Palmer back there now.
Palmer the lone setback. John said. Aikman semi-sprint out. In a hurry. And does. Gets it to Steve Folsom. Complete. That's a tough throw.
That's the type of thing that Aikman can do, though. He can move. He can move to his left and still throw the ball. Now, as you say, this is a tough throw because you're sprinting out to your left. Then you're getting pressure. That's what makes it tough. You're getting pressure, and the guy's going to come up and hit you right in the head and then make that completion.
That's Reggie White that hits him.
And, you know, and he just had a concussion 2 weeks ago. In fact, he still has a hematoma in his right ear.
Yeah, that sounds serious.
That's a big old hematoma.
There is nothing there. Clyde Simmons on the stop, a loss of 2.
I think the Cowboys' first idea in this game, Pat, when they went to the 2 fullbacks, Darrell Johnston and Broderick Sargent, just banged it with man blocking right at him, is probably the way to go. Draw stuff and delay stuff does not work well against the Eagles because they're a big pass rush team.
And all 4 of those up front guys are very, very active. 2nd and 12. That's Jerry Rome on the headset.
Jerry Rome has probably had as much to do with Troy Aikman's advancement in this league as anyone.
Cornell Burbage is the man in motion, and Aikman back to throw, and he's going to be hurried out of there. They get the ball to Palmer. Screen pass, he's knocked out of bounds. Flag on the play. Jenkins knocked him out of bounds.
There's a lot of talk on that sideline after a hit, isn't there?
Against the Eagles.
I heard one of the officials say when the ball's in the air, you can't hit him.
Buddy Ryan.
Illegal contact, 46 defense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, and a first down.
And a first down. That's the big factor. They did not have enough yardage to give him a first down.
Yeah, that's a tough thing that Isaiah Jenkins had to do there. A screen pass is in the backfield, and it's like a running play. So you can use your hands on a running play to play off a blocker. But what they're saying is a ball was in the air. Then if you use your hands when the ball's in the air, it's pass interference.
33-yard line is the line of scrimmage, and Randall Cunningham communicates with the Eagle staff. Burbage again in motion. This is Palmer to the 35. 2-yard gain, stopped by Andre Waters.
You know, here's what the Eagles do, Pat. If we look at it, you know, in that 46 defense, you see they put the 3 guys in here. Now here's Reggie White over the center. Now they put Clyde Simmons over here, put their 3 linebackers on this side. They got their safety up, so they get 8 men in this box. And that is darn near impossible to run against.
Part of the reason they do that is so they get single blocking on Reggie White. He's tired of those double teams.
Yeah, and he likes to play over the center because of the single block.
Blitz coming. Aikman's pass is intercepted by Golick. And Golick is out of bounds deep in Dallas territory.
Golick is a happy defensive lineman. I think that's the second time in 2 weeks he's handled the ball. Last week, Reggie White picked up a fumble, and he lateraled it to Golick. Golick is looking at this. He's saying, look, I'm just standing on the line of scrimmage. He was right there. He was being blocked. He was being blocked up there by Nate Newton, just standing there, and here comes the ball.
The pressure is what caused everything.
Yeah, but the guy who got the interception didn't put the pressure on. He was the cop that was hanging around the line of scrimmage.
That's his first career interception, and the Eagles have the ball at the Cowboy 13 fumble. Jack Del Rio gets the ball back for Dallas.
That's the type of play you need from a defense. When something bad happens to your offense, instead of getting down, you get up, go in there, get the ball back. You watch a reverse pivot here. Cunningham lost the ball as he was coming out on his reverse pivot.
He never really had it. He didn't have any idea where the ball was, but Jack Del Rio did. 3:52 left to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium. The Eagles get an interception, and the Cowboys get a fumble recovery. They've got the ball back now at their own 14-yard line, 1st and 10. That's Darrell Johnston again. This time, what worked the first couple of times out didn't work this time. Here's the fumble.
You know, on that fumble, watch it. Mike Chad is a pulling guard. As he comes by, he hits the ball and knocks it out of Cunningham's hand. But watch it on the clicker here. You see, right there, his right hand. See the left guard when he pulls? He hits it right there, knocks the ball out of Cunningham's hand as he's going on a reverse pivot. That's something. A poor old guard, you're just trying to make a block, and what happens? You whap the ball out of your quarterback's hand.
Darrell Johnston again. The lone setback. Aikman back to throw it. Outside quickly. to Derek Shepard, incomplete. Aikman, in all fairness, has not had much time. The Eagles putting great pressure on him.
Well, and the other thing, in all fairness to Aikman, is, you know, he lost Kelvin Martin, who was his top receiver.
Right.
He got hurt last week. He's lost Michael Irvin, his other receiver. In fact, it's ironic. You know, the Cowboys have had 7 guys that have torn anterior cruciate ligaments. And that's the worst ligament injury you can have. But they've had 7 of them this year, 2 of them to their starting wide receiver.
That's an awful lot in one spot.
Well, that's the injury that takes the longest time to rehabilitate, too.
Right. Flag on the play. Too much time.
Delay a game, number 8 offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Still 3rd down, and here's that changing offense you were talking about, John.
Well, if you look, when they started out, Michael Irvin and Kelvin Martin were the wide receivers, and then the next thing you see is the guys that are starting today, Dixon and Shepard. Scott and Walker were the 2 running backs, and now it's Palmer and Johnston. So 4 of the guys that he is throwing to are different.
3rd and 13. It's tough to make progress. Flag again on the play. Aikman is thrown down in the end zone. And a fracas breaks out. Brett Hager was the man who hit him with flags all over the place.
That's going to be a penalty against the Eagles.
This is one of those that continues.
Look at Gogan there. He's going in a stance. This is a real fight.
That was Jerome Brown that Gogan was going after. We need DeMarcus at Queensberry here instead of Gene Bart.
They need a cage to put those guys in, a cage match.
They forgot it's Thanksgiving.
Well, one thing, that just because the offense moves, that doesn't give the defense a free shot at your quarterback. Brent Hager come in and hit Aikman, so that has to be a penalty against the Eagles.
We've got encroachment on the defense, followed by offsetting unnecessary roughness fouls, with the exception that number 74 defense is disqualified. 74 defense is disqualified.
I still don't agree with that. They still gave, even though they throw Mike Pitts out of the game, you don't get a free shot. You see, they jumped off on defense. Now the whistle blows. They're stopping the thing. You don't get a free shot to come in and throw the quarterback down.
It's
That's
not
what
74.
started it.
It's 54. It's Hager.
Well, Hager was the first guy that made the hit. I would say that Pitts probably did something in here. See 74 there? Probably something in that pile, some action in there.
And Buddy Ryan wants to make sure who is disqualified. Hager's the guy who made the hit on Aikman.
Well, the guy that originally jumped off sides was Jerome Brown. If the whistle doesn't blow, they can get the quarterback. If the whistle does blow, then they shouldn't be able to hit him.
Now they are saying that it was Pitts who was disqualified, but I think they're going to take another look.
Hey, I don't know what they disqualified him for, but they could disqualify
Let
a
me
bunch of
restate the
guys.
fouls. We had an encroachment foul against the defense, which was enforced. We have offsetting unnecessary roughness fouls. However, the Philadelphia foul was a disqualification foul on number 74.
It was number 74. I didn't see what he did.
Well, you're in the pile, see? He's right here in the middle of the pile, right there. So you can see what he's going to do. That's it. That punch right there on Gogan. That had to be it. He just got the right hand in there. I watch Gogan come back, man. Those both hands are pumping up. Yeah. Look, you got those elbows in. Here comes Reggie. That was a free-for-all.
That's about as long as you'll see one last. Here's Aikman. Eric Shepard, the intended receiver, was a late punch by Pitts that caused that disqualification. And after all that, we'll have Mike Saxon coming to punt us. Henry Williams, Gizmo, back deep for the Eagles. He's been having all kind of difficulties.
Hey, one thing, this game has started off with some real high intensity.
Really?
Yeah, it's 72 on the level.
Saxon. Williams at his own 36. Wrestled out of bounds by Vince Albert. A lot of shouting going on now over in front of the Eagle bench.
Yeah, they were trying to yell for a face mask penalty.
They got the face mask, didn't they?
In fact, I did see a flag come out. That official could have been talked into that one, Pat.
In front of the Eagle bench.
We have a 5-yard face mask penalty tacked on from the end of the run. 5 yards.
Let's see.
Well, here's Gizmo, and it's going to happen right here in front of the bench. He did grab the face mask. That is a legitimate call.
He did try to let it go very quickly, but it's still called. Nothing. Pat Summerall, John Madden at Texas Stadium. 2:49 remain first quarter. Here's what happened to Pitts' hand during the fight. When you punch somebody who has a helmet on, you have to suffer the consequences.
Yeah, and you can see they're still working on his hand down there. That's why when guys fight, they put tape and gloves and stuff on. Pitts looked like he'd been in more than one of those things. You see the scars on that hand? That doesn't look like the first time that deal got like that.
Gogan looked like he knew what he was doing too, didn't he?
Well, he had a lot of motion. He had a lot of things. He kept his elbows in, his chin down, but didn't get any work in.
Here's Cunningham. Swings it out to Jackson. Del Rio was with him. Jackson spun away for 5 yards.
Jack Del Rio is playing pretty well for this Cowboy team. He looks very alert. He's been around. Remember when he was playing at USC? He was also a heck of a baseball player, and he had to decide whether to be a baseball player or a linebacker. He decided to go the linebacker route.
And then it was New Orleans, and then Kansas City, and now here.
I remember him when he was in high school. A great high school athlete in every sport.
Cunningham to Byars. Byars in the backfield. And the Cowboys' pursuit is excellent. Norton made the stop.
Yeah, one thing, Pat, they're still working on Mike Pitts in the sideline, and because he's been thrown out, he's going to have to leave the field. They don't let him stay out there, and I think maybe because they're working on him, he can stay out this long. But what they like to do is when a guy is thrown out, they like to kind of sneak him off the field and not let the crowd get excited about it.
A quiet departure. Cunningham out of the spread. Has to come out of there, and does, and he can run. With the best. Out of bounds at about the Dallas 21. 25-yard pickup for Randall Cunningham.
And this is what he does so well. I mean, you have to have a spy, and you have to have everything on Randall Cunningham. You see him, he's back here. Now, if you don't stay in your lane, if you give him the lane, you see he's going to see the lane here, but then if he can get through that, even though there is a spy on him, Randall Cunningham is good enough to beat a spy. See the move right there? He gets a block and a move, and then he has the talent and the speed to make a long gain out of it.
Eagles have a first down deep in Dallas territory now. Anthony Toney bangs over the left side, stopped by Eugene Lockhart.
You know, that shows what a great player Randall Cunningham is, because Everyone knows that he can scramble or run, so they keep a spy on him, a guy that just mirrors him and stays with him. So now the Eagles know that. So when he goes to scramble, boom, they send a blocker to the spy.
And there are not a lot of spies who can stay up with him anyway. Byars in motion. Cunningham to Byars. Made the catch in front of Norton. Good grab.
Byars is a guy who moves all over. He's not only in the backfield, tight end, wide receiver. Probably Keith Jackson is the favorite target of Randall Cunningham, and the second favorite target is Keith Byars.
He that time was lined up as a wide receiver. It's funny, you know, John, when he was at Ohio State, he had a reputation, of course, as a great running back, and nobody knew he could catch the ball. But in the last couple of years, he has really emerged as a fine receiver.
Well, and he's, probably, with Mike Quick out now and not having that receiver, that big play receiver, the Eagles' passing game is more of that possession type thing with Byars and Jackson.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Cowboys nothing and the Eagles nothing. On Thanksgiving Day, it's the Eagles against the Cowboys at Texas Stadium. Just beginning the second quarter, no scores yet, but the Eagles have it 3rd down and 1 at the Cowboy 12 as Mike Pitts, who was involved in that fight in the first quarter, has left the field. Ejected and dejected. Hit by Ray Horton.
Hey, this is the area that Buddy Ryan has been most concerned about, and maybe not only for this game, but for this whole run at the playoffs. Getting inside the 20 and then boom, getting it in the end zone. As we said earlier, they have only scored 1 touchdown in 8 quarters.
And that was last week against the Vikings, and it took a miraculous catch to accomplish that.
Yeah, Chris Carter made a kind of a one-handed type of thing in the end zone. It was a great catch.
That's Carter in motion. Cunningham goes to Carter. Norton on the defense. It'll bring up a 2nd down and goal from the 8.
Yeah, I think that's what it goes back to. I think it goes back to not really having a great running game, and then you get down there and you have to pass, and the closer you get to the goal line, the tougher it is to pass, because everything shortens up. And when you don't have any deep threat, that's an advantage to the defense.
The ball's at the 9, actually. 2nd and goal from there. Draw play to 5. Hit by Willie Broughton at about the 6. Pickup of 3.
You watch this draw or delay type of play. You see it's kind of a counter, and then they come back. But the Cowboys played it well. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They had their secondary up, everyone in a lane. This is here's an area that Randall Cunningham likes to spread the defense out and then have the option to either throw it or run it and throw it.
And he can do both. Touchdown to Carter. On the other side of the field from last week's great catch, but another touchdown nevertheless. Williams was a defender.
That was a great catch there. I think he ended up getting it with the one hand. It started out with a 2-hand and then looked like it ended up as a one-handed catch. Randall Cunningham is just going to come back. It's a timing thing. 1, 2, 3, boom, throw it up over there. Now watch this catch Carter makes. He goes up, has it in 2 hands, then he has to bring it down with 1 hand.
Bruzek with the extra point, with Runninger holding. And that makes it 7-0 Eagles. Another sensational catch by Carter. 2 hands, then 1 hand. Basically, there have been 2 highlights so far. Mike Pitts, in a fight midway in the first quarter, was disqualified. And Chris Carter just caught that sensational touchdown pass. Here's what started the fight. Here's how it all began.
Well, again, it started. The whistle blew. Britt Hager came in and threw Aikman to the ground. Aikman started the fight. Now, you don't see that too often. Now, I think he's smart enough to get the heck out of there, number 8. In fact, Tuanay grabs him and pushes him out. Then you see the action down there, and the guy who finally gets thrown out is number 74, Mike Pitts.
Just keep watching. He'll become further involved.
Threw that right hand right there.
And then he'll throw another one. Yeah. In any case, the Eagles score on a 7-yard touchdown pass from Cunningham to Carter. He leads 7-0 as Ruzek kicks off to Dixon. Fumble. Ruzek falls on it and keeps it.
That was the reason that Jimmy Johnson got rid of Roger Ruzek, because of his short kickoff. Now he kicks a short kickoff. The Eagles just signed him the other day. Kicks a short kickoff, fumbles, and Ruzek gets a recovery. See, you like to kick the ball off to the goal line. That was on the 10-yard line.
Now he does a wise thing right here. Instead of trying to pick it up, just fall on it.
You don't see a kicker make many plays after he kicks. You know,
no, you don't, as a matter of fact.
Like tackling and fighting and recovering plays and those types of things.
They're going to review this.
After review by the replay official, the call stands. First down.
Yeah, that ball was popped out well before Dixon went down. The only thing review did is waste some time.
That was a quick review, however. And the Eagles have it 1st and 10 at the Cowboys' 43-yard line. Here's Cunningham after the fake, looking deep. That should be intercepted or knocked down at least, and is. Ron Johnson was the intended receiver. The Cowboys had him doubled.
Yeah, that's the thing when you have a quarterback that has a lot of confidence. He will try and get something in even though there is double coverage. I mean, they got Johnson covered every way you can cover a guy. And they had him short and deep, front and back, in and out. They had him in a sandwich.
Isaac Holt and Ray Horton were back there with him. Of Everson Walls right now. Byars with a one-handed snag. Jesse Solomon was the defender with him, a one-handed catch. They specialize in those things.
As you say, I think part of that is the type of thing that they just throw so many passes and catch so many passes and know each other so well that these things just come naturally. I think Cunningham really has a feeling with those two guys, with Keith Jackson and Keith Byars.
3rd and 2. Byars again lined up as a tight end. Cunningham out of the pocket again. With room again. And an Eagles first down. Stopped by Lockhart after a gain of 7.
That's where this team is so dangerous, Pat, this Eagle team. You get them in that 3rd down, and with Cunningham, you always get that 3-way go. You only need 5 yards, so you call a pass. And then again, he can go back, pass it for a touchdown, as he did to Chris Carter. He can go back and run and throw it, or he can go back and run enough to get the first down.
Which is exactly what he did at the Dallas 28. Eagles lead 7-0. And off Byars, gets away from one man, stopped by Jeffcoat.
You know, here's the thing. We look at the line here, and then we're going to get the blitz. Now, this is a run blitz where you just get all of these gaps filled. So it's not the pass thing. It's a first down. So you just hit holes. Now you see here, the Cowboys have every hole filled. There is no place to run.
And it brings up a 2nd and 10. Jumped a little early, I think.
Yeah, you know, that's the other thing Randall Cunningham is a master at, changing that count.
Defense, number 73, encroachment, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That was one where the defensive lineman, instead of watching the ball, is listening to the cadence. And then you get that thing, that hard count that Cunningham gives you, and whap, you jump.
2nd and 5 then for Philadelphia. See if we can hear that count if he does it again. Quick this time. The Byars touchdown. What a throw. That had to be perfect, and it was. What a penalty.
As you say, that was a heck of a throw. That was shot out of a cannon.
73 offense, a jam to the face, 10-yard penalty, replay the down.
He threw that thing right over Eugene Lockhart. The penalty is on 73, Ron Heller. He's the right tackle. He'll be at the top of the picture right there. You see 73? See, they said right there. You see him hit him with the right hand in the face? To me, I think that's pretty good pass protection.
He had perfect position, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you have to let those guys use their hands, but if they get them to the face, then it's a penalty.
2nd and 15, Byars split wide to the right this time. And Cunningham throws the screen pass to Tony. Chased by Jeff Coat and brought down by Jeff Coat and Jesse Solomon.
Yeah, the guy got that penalty, Ron Heller, there, has turned into a pretty good tackle. I mean, he's a good run blocker. He's a good pass protector. He's a big guy. He reminds me of Howie Long. Look at him. I mean that face and the way he talks and stuff, it reminds me of a defensive guy. But he's a tough guy, you know, and he's one of those guys that will block on the line of scrimmage. Then when the play goes downfield, he'll run downfield and pick off the 2nd or 3rd guy.
3rd and 11. Misses Ron Johnson, incomplete. And we'll see a field goal try, I think, by Ruzick. I know it'll be Ruzick, unless there's a fake involved.
You know, about Tuesday or last weekend, Roger Ruzick didn't expect this kind of thing. He's out of football. He's not any place they call him up. Here he is on Thanksgiving Day, kicking off, recovering footballs, getting booed in Dallas Stadium, wearing a green jersey.
Matt Cavanaugh is the holder. Ruzick from 47 yards. I think somebody on the Eagle offensive front set drew the Cowboys offside.
I would think so.
False start, 79 offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4.
And Ruzick didn't get a shot.
I'll tell you, that was a big play because, as you say, that took him out of field goal range, or what Buddy Ryan thinks is field goal range, and puts him back into a punt situation.
With Max Runiger back.
Where Shad's having a tough time. He was the guy that knocked the ball out of Cunningham's hand on that fumble.
Derek Shepard standing back at about the 10 for Dallas. Runiger will aim it at the sideline. This looks like a pretty good kick. Goes into the end zone. They almost had a chance to knock it backwards. Lilly was there trying to do that, but it went into the end zone. The Eagles lead the Cowboys 7-0 in the 2nd quarter. At Summerall, John Madden back at Texas Stadium, where the Eagles lead the Cowboys 7-0 in the 2nd quarter. 9 minutes, 52 seconds remaining. Tomorrow,
see, the Arkansas band is here today. And they got to go, so they got a tough deal, too. In fact, on the bus, when we go up to Washington, we'll go through Arkansas tonight.
Here's Aikman to Folsom. Incomplete, almost. Byron Evans back there with him.
You know, that last play, it really is something. When you get to the 34-yard line and you have to punt in the National Football League, and then you punt it in the end zone, you only really picked up 14 yards. And you'd think that the Eagles are at their position in their development that somehow you shouldn't have to punt from the 34-yard line.
Well, they've changed kickers. Maybe Buddy Ryan just didn't believe. Here's Aikman, 1 out of 6 so far. Pass complete to Derek Shepard. A gain of 8. Reichenbach made the stop.
Derek Shepard is the guy who started out in the first game of the season. The Cowboys played the New Orleans Saints, and Shepard was on the Saint team. In fact, he had a big return in that game, and then the Saints later waived him, and Jimmy Johnson remembered it and picked him up, and now he's a starting wide receiver.
3rd and about 2. Cowboys operating from their own 28-yard line. Aikman again. In the pocket, he'll get the first down and more. Slides at about the 37. A pickup out 7. Clyde Simmons.
Hey, here's a good matchup, Pat. Here's one that I love. Watch Nate Newton here against Jerome Brown. Now, this is 2 guys that really go over 300 pounds apiece. Now, this is like 2 sumo wrestlers out here. Boom, they get in it. They're just pushing, shoving, knocking each other around. Those guys are going to be 2 sore big guys after this game.
So Aikman scrambled for the first down. Both quarterbacks, as a matter of fact, have more yards rushing than they do passing. Palmer, left side. Not much. Maybe 5, though.
You ever notice how a heavy guy will always pick up his pants, always pull up his pants? You watch Nate Newton. He made a good block that time on Jerome Brown. Then they always pull up their pants. And your shirt tail's always hanging out. I think when you're a fat guy, you always dream of the day that your shirt tail won't hang out.
Second down, 5. Aikman to Folsom. Not enough for a first. Stopped by Eric Allen.
You see that? It's automatic. You always block, and then you pull up your pants. I've done that all my life, so that's not something you're getting here. I mean, you just watch him here. Watch the protection here. You're going to see Nate Newton there against Brown. You see Brown starting to the outside, then he clubs back to the inside. Then he just gets a push, but when you get that type of thing, there's no way that you can just push that guy. And then the minute it's over, you got to pull the pants up. See, get those pants pulled up there where they belong.
The problem is they won't stay up.
Well, you got some combinations.
3rd and 2. Aikman back to throw it again. Over the head of James Dixon. And the Cowboys will have to punt it away.
Well, they got the ball out towards midfield where they can punt from good field position and kind of back the Eagles up a little here.
Henry Williams, Gizmo back deep for the Eagles. Mike Saxon to punt it. His first one, 48 yards. Good snap. Saxon gets off a bullet. He chases Gizmo back inside the 10. And he's knocked around back there. Good kick by Saxon and good coverage by the special teams. Junior Toddlatasi down to cover it. 48-yard punt by Saxon. A return of 5. 7-0. The Eagles lead the Cowboys. Second quarter, 6:35 left to play before halftime. The Eagles 7, the Cowboys nothing. The Eagles have the ball at their own 14-yard line. Tony. Jesse Solomon finally made the stop. The Eagles have had pretty secure control of things so far. 1 turnover, 3 times inside the 20-yard line they've been. Only got 7 points. 1 penalty brought back a touchdown pass from Cunningham to Byars. And the other penalty moved them out of field goal range. They had to punt.
That's the type of thing that'll make a coach have a tough time digesting his turkey on Thanksgiving, I'll tell you.
Cunningham again to Tony. Flag on the play, a late one. Eugene Lockhart made the stop.
That's going to be a holding penalty against the Eagles. Now, that's a penalty I think they ought to just throw out. That it never used to be, that holding against the run.
65 offense, holding. 10-yard penalty, repeat the first down.
I mean, they ought to just let him block. 65 is right here, is Ron Salt. And you used to just let them drive into each other and, and kind of punch around in there a little. Now, I don't think that's the play that held Hamill out of there. I mean, that was a block, and he just kind of turned him. Tony ran by, and I think that's an equalizer penalty.
Makes it first and 20. Cunningham quickly to the outside. Stopped by Solomon. In the earlier game today in Detroit, the Lions upset Cleveland 13-10. The rookie Sanders, the first back this year for Detroit, and in the NFL, as a matter of fact, to rush for 1,000 yards this year. That's what it does. That's Isaac Holt, who's down, number 30 for the Cowboys. He had replaced Everson Walls. 7-0. Eagles lead. 7-0 Philadelphia. They have taken Isaac Holt right to the Cowboy locker room, I assume, for x-rays.
Well, it's his left hand. I think he was coming across to make the tackle, Pat, and his hand got caught in a face mask. And it looked like he just dislocated something or pulled something out because they just grabbed the hand and took him off the field.
Second down. Cunningham, Jackson. First down, Philadelphia. Lockhart and Howard brought him down. Here it is.
Let's see if we can watch it. Here's Holt right there. And we'll watch his left hand as he reaches. See, it gets caught right in there. See, as it comes up here, that's when it happens. Now watch. He'll take the hand off. See him pull the left hand out. Then he just keeps it out. The trainers came in, just grabbed that left hand, and took him off the field.
And Keith Jackson, who just caught that pass, is still down. He's had an injury problem all year long. He's just getting back almost to 100%. That's a big loss.
Well, he had the back injury first, then he had a knee, and then both ankles. Hey, that looked like that could just be a twisted ankle again, but again, that wasn't a well ankle in the first place. See, he knows it's hurt right away. And again, he was coming in with 2 bad ankles and a knee. He said that after last Sunday's game, he said he woke up the next day and he said he just put his leg out of bed and he said it felt pretty good. Then he put the other leg down. He said he felt still good. And he said this is going to be a good week.
It was for a while. Mike Pitts standing back in the tunnel. He was ejected from the game following a scuffle in the first quarter. The rules say he has to leave the field. He's already showered, shaved, and ready to go home.
Hey, Keith Jackson is a player that if the Eagles are really going to make a run on this division, and a real serious run into playoffs and possible championship, Super Bowl, that type of thing, they have to get this guy healthy.
It's just been one of those nagging things all year long. You could see the frustration as he walked off.
You know, when he was out, Randall Cunningham kept saying that he misses Keith Jackson because he's the guy he goes to for this. Then Keith said, boy, that's putting a lot of pressure on me, Randall, saying how much he misses me.
Jimmy Giles takes his place. First down, Philadelphia. Cunningham behind Byars. Vince Albritton was the closest Cowboy.
And now what they're probably going to do is take off his sock there and shoe and just probably put some more tape on there. Well, in fact, they're not going to take it off. They'll just tape right over the shoe. You see, under that sock, he has a tape job on his ankle. So now what they're going to do is they don't have time to go in and take all that stuff off, so they're just going to put a tape job on right over the outside.
Second down. Cunningham fires with room. From behind by Jesse Solomon.
Well, Randall Cunningham that doesn't have his #1 guy in there. He'll throw it to his #2 guy. There's 41, Keith Byars, just starts out. Boom, he goes out into the flat, makes a catch here. Then he turns it on with speed. Gene Lockhart is trying to catch him. Byars gets that step on him, makes a good cutback, gets a ball out there, and then finally puts it away because he knows he's going to get hit.
A gain of 36 yards, Cunningham to Byars. Side for a couple. Inside the Cowboy 20, stopped by Lockhart. The word, John, on Isaac Holt is that he has a dislocated shoulder and will not return to today's game.
Well, it must have been when he slapped with that left hand that the shoulder popped out, because he just pulled everything right off it on that play.
Second down, Eagles. They need 8 for a first from the Cowboy 19. Chased out of bounds by Solomon. Gain of 1.
Yeah, this is the thing that sometimes something gets on your mind. You know, like you get inside the 20 and you start having trouble and you get a penalty and you don't make it. You only score 1 touchdown in 8 quarters and so on. Then you start to press too much when you get there. And you can relax going up and down the field, which the Eagles are. Then they get here, and maybe they are pressing a little.
Gets to be a mental thing.
I've seen that happen to a lot of teams.
Third down at the 18. Roll to Byars, incomplete. The Eagles lead it 7-0. They've control the clock, and so far the scoreboard. Now Roger Ruzek will attempt to put him further ahead. It'll be from 36 yards. Cavanaugh holding. Right down the middle, right into the band in the tunnel by Ruzek.
Roger Ruzek has experience kicking here in Dallas Stadium. And the Eagles just signed him. We talked to Mike Saxon yesterday, the punter of the Cowboys. He said he talked to Roger Ruzek, and he said that he went up there for a tryout and he hit 12 out of 12, and he knew Buddy was signing him. That was the good news. The bad news is he had to take a pay cut.
It's nice to be employed, though.
Well, you know, he held out, and that's probably the thing that slowed him up here, and I'm sure the thing that upset Jimmy Johnson with him. One thing about this, if you look at this, Pat, Buddy Ryan doesn't keep a kicker along to get real comfortable. He doesn't keep him around long enough.
The book on Buddy Ryan's patience with kickers is not one that would lead you to believe you have a lot of security.
And I'll tell you, anyone who has a lot of kickers on their team, or who has had a lot of kickers, somewhere along the line has had a Zendejas.
I'll guarantee you.
I think there's like 13 of them. I think half the teams in the NFL have a Zendejas.
If not yet, they will.
In fact, Zendejas here is signed with the Cowboys 4 different times.
At the conclusion of today's game, we will select players of the game from each team who will be candidates for the National Miller Lite Player of the Week honor. James Dixon. Out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Pete Jackson has retwisted his ankle, but the Eagles tell us he will be back.
Well, I think when you see him put the tape on the outside, that's a pretty good indicator that he's going to come back. If they thought it were more serious, or he thought it were more serious than that, he would have gone into the locker room. But the fact that they taped him up right there in the sideline, he's going to play.
1st and 10. The Cowboys ball at their own 39. The Eagles lead 10-0. Sets up the screen pass to Steve Fulton. Hager made the stop. Pick up a 3 by Folsom. Ed Jones over on the end of the bench. The rest of the crew that's not in action right now. 2nd and 7. Aikman backpedals. Cut down.
You know, on that pass, it looked like Aikman didn't have anyone open, or someone ran the wrong pattern, because he sure looked confused on that play. Let's just watch the thing. We'll watch when he's ready to throw and see what he has downfield. See if we just stop it now. You see, he doesn't have anything here. He doesn't have anything here. He probably could have gone here or here, but he didn't, and he looked confused. Then he started to step up in there. But that's what he was looking at when he was ready to throw. Now he couldn't throw, and he had to do this. I would have think that maybe he could have gone out there to the left side. That was the first sack today for the Eagles.
2:01 left. They were going to get the 2-minute warning, but Dallas called a timeout with 1 second to go before that 2-minute warning. So they'll have 2 left.
You know, you talk about football and Thanksgiving all kind of going together, and here at Dallas Stadium, it just seems funny not seeing Tom Landry here. That also kind of goes together. Dallas Cowboys, Thanksgiving, Dallas Stadium, and Tom Landry.
And Tex Ram sitting up in his box on the far side of the field. So long, so much a part of this organization. To Dixon. So
Isaiah Jenkins thought that he had it. He knocked it out, and the official said no, he didn't have it. He didn't have it.
So now we'll get that 2-minute warning. Today, NFL Charities announced a $20,000 grant to Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, making the total commitment to the organization $157,000. You look up at the Ring of Honor. Don Meredith, Bob Lilly, Don Perkins, Roger Staubach, and the last name just put up there not too long ago, Leroy Jordan. Mel Renfro and Chuck Howley are the two that you didn't see. That one was done very recently, and deservedly so. Saxon back to punt it for the Cowboys, and Gizmo Williams back deep for the Eagles. Saxon standing about his own 26-yard line. Another good kick. He is knocked down, and the flag comes down. And another flag further back downfield. The first one was for roughing the kicker, I'm sure.
The interesting thing, it's only a 5-yard penalty now, and it won't be a first down. The Cowboys are going to have a decision now. You see Saxon punt, and you see him get hit after he kicks the ball right there by Andre Waters. Now the flag goes down, and it can either be a 5-yard or a 15-yard. If it's unnecessary roughness, it's a 15. If it's just running into the kicker, it's a 5. If it's a 5, it won't be a first down.
And obviously, if it's a 15, it would be.
There's no foul downfield. All we have is running into the kicker.
So this is going to be an interesting decision now for Jimmy Johnson. We see here, we see the punt, and then we see the run into the kicker, and now it's going to still be 4th down, but it looks like it'll be about 4th and 2 at about midfield.
I think they're going to say about 3 yards.
Yeah, he's still saying kick the ball.
The kicker's a 5-yard penalty with a 4th down.
Past years, that would have been an automatic first down, but that's a change that was made, what, 2 years ago?
That was a rule change that was made so that it wasn't an automatic first down unless it was really trying to hurt the kicker.
And he just barely grazed him. So punt it again.
Well, we saw Jimmy Johnson say to kick again. I think when you're down 10-0 and you're 1-10, this isn't a bad position to go for a fake punt. We know they're not going to do it because we saw him already tell them to kick it.
Williams signals fair catch again. Saxon was down, but the act that time wasn't good enough.
39-yard.
And nothing, the Eagles. Full Saturday of sports here on CBS. First down, Eagles. Cunningham retreats from the spread formation. Pass complete. And then number 7, Miami. 2nd and 1. Cunningham again out of the spread. Outside Byars. Byars tripped up, trying to get out of bounds, but got close to a first down. Nevertheless, Eagles have 3 timeouts remaining. It is a first down by Byars from Cunningham. Less than a minute left. Cunningham fires again. Out of bounds by Walls. 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, the interesting thing here, if the Eagles could get another 10 or 15 yards, they would have a chance to throw a Hail Mary. But you can see on that last one, Randall Cunningham got hit. Watch Jeffcoat, number 77, right there, is going to come and hit Cunningham just as he throws the ball or right after it. Looked like he took a shot that just knocked the wind out of him in the ribs.
2nd and 8. Pass incomplete in the direction of Byars again. Everson Walls, the defender.
I think Cunningham is still hurting there. I think he's getting down there trying to just get some air back in himself. You know what happened last week at the end of the half? Dan Marino got one more play, and he threw a Hail Mary, and they got the touchdown with 1 second left in the halftime. The Eagles, of course, have seen that film, so you know that the Eagles are thinking about it. You also know the Cowboys are.
3rd and 8. Ball's at the Eagle 28. Cunningham again. Incomplete and no flag. Chris Carter was the intended receiver. The Eagles will have to punt it away with 37 seconds left to play. Ron Francis was the defender.
I think Matt Darwin is down too, Pat.
Right.
In fact, he is. He was in pass protection, and he went down just at the end of the play. He's the left tackle for the Eagles. In fact, the Eagles felt that, that he was just coming into his own and just playing his best football right now.
They're still checking on Darwin. 10-0. The Eagles lead the Cowboys. We're in the first half. Back at Texas Stadium, the Eagles leading 10-0 over the Cowboys with 37 seconds left to play in the first half. Darwin is still down. Buddy Ryan and his Eagles got in late last night. Worked out in Philadelphia yesterday in the cold.
Well, the toughest thing about playing on Thanksgiving Day is that you have that short week. But if you can get through it without any injuries and a win, then you have the advantage of having 10 days.
Of course, in 10 days, they have to go up and play the Giants at the Meadowlands. The Giants play San Francisco on Monday night.
Well, that was an encouraging thing, seeing Matt Darwin walk off, even though he's walking out through the back of the end zone and just going right into the locker room. At least he's walking without any help.
Runniger back to kick for the Eagles. Derek Shepard back deep for the Cowboys, standing at about his own 30. 37 seconds left to play in the first half. 10-0 Philadelphia. They're coming after it. Eagle coverage is excellent. The Cowboys have 2 timeouts remaining. 34-yard punt by Runniger coming up at the half. Brent Nerve with the scores, the other scores from today, the other game in Detroit. And also the inspirational story of Joe Gibbs, the Redskins coach, his efforts to create a caring environment for troubled teenagers, and he is really involved in that. Word on Darwin is that he has a twisted knee. He's in the locker room. He's already gone. We don't know if he'll be able to return or not. Aikman under pressure. Chased by Reggie White. Finally just has to throw it away. Flag on the play. White knocked Aikman out of bounds. He's trying to, in the opinion of the officials, get rid of it to avoid a loss. That's a penalty.
Did you see Reggie White take off, though? I mean, this guy, watch 92 here. When he takes off, he's running about a 4.6. He's throwing that, and Aikman had to get rid of the ball, so they penalized him for throwing the ball away. But what the heck else can you do when you got a guy who weighs 290 pounds running a 4.6 40 flat at you? Hey, that's what makes him one of the best defensive linemen in the league. He's not only big and strong and all those things and quick, but he has that speed. I mean, a guy that is that big shouldn't be able to run that fast. I mean, he got some good parts when they handed out that deal.
Didn't he, though? Second down at 27. The draw play is to Palmer. Up outside the 30 by Wes Hopkins. A gain of 4. Timeout, Philadelphia. With 14 seconds left to play in the first half.
Well, the Eagles are trying to get one more shot at it. They probably want to do is stop him here on 3rd, and then they want to go for a punt block, and if not, get one more shot.
Perhaps for Roger Ruzick, if they can block the punt.
Ruzick either needs a little less shirt or some more arm.
He doesn't look like he should be playing the same game as Reggie White, does he?
Hey, you see big old Reggie White running around there knocking guys around, and the guy's hair isn't even messed up. You know, Reggie wears a jersey a couple sizes too small too. I mean, that, you know, I mean, normal guy, I mean, he'd wear triple extra large. That's probably about a large.
And those are like kids' shoulder pads, too. Very small.
I know it. He does. Well, see what that... The thing that bothers Reggie is guys holding them. And he thinks if you put tight stuff on, they don't have anything to hold.
Third down. Again, this is Johnston. Left side won't be enough for first down. The Eagles again call a timeout with 9 seconds left. They'll have to put some heat on Mike Saxon.
Well, you know, sometime with only 9 seconds, sometimes the play is you just put all 11 guys up there and try and block the punt. You don't even have a punt returner back there.
And if you've got the ball, sometimes the play is just run around with it back there. If your kicker's a good enough athlete to run the timeout that way.
Well, the Eagles are putting Gizmo back there, so unless they play with 12, you know they're only going to have 10 up there.
9 seconds remaining in the first half. Reggie White checks back in to help with the rush on Saxon.
I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe they just want him to put a pass rush, make 92 and come straight up the middle.
Saxon just barely got it out of there. Williams going to try to field it.
Get back! Get back!
I think Saxon saw Reggie White line up there and come in here and tried to kick it away from him.
I think you're exactly right. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Eagles 10, the Cowboys nothing.